we get like a 3-minute countdown? Great. Lorene, can you ask Cameron to start chasing kids in here? James, you ready to go? Great.
We're going to start the service this evening with a nigun. A nigun is just a melody with no words. You may or may not know this melody, but it's very easy to catch on, so please join us. Try it with me. One last time.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Now, I've got all these 6th through 8th graders mostly sitting over here, a few scattered elsewhere. Shabbat Shalom to all of you who are in 6th to 8th grade. So a big Shabbat Shalom back to me. Oh, you guys are not loud enough. I've heard you louder, like running the halls here. Let's try one more time. Shabbat Shalom. So our 6th through 8th graders are going to be joining us for the service tonight. And then many of them are going to be spending the night. There are about, I think, 21, 22 kids in attendance. We welcome them all, those who will be participating in tonight's program that occurs after the service. Plato is not Jewish, but he once wrote, "We can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when adults are afraid of the light." Plato refers to the light of honesty, integrity, justice. Tonight we'll be talking about light and how it relates to us as Jews and as human beings. And that's because this week's Torah portion, Tetzaveh, talks about something that's in our sanctuary. Does everyone see the light on top of our ark? Of course. I want to hear a lot more yes from you guys. Yeah. Yeah, and what's it called? Anybody know what it's called? The eternal light. Great. Anybody know what it's called in Hebrew? Ner Tamid. So that's our Ner Tamid, our everly lit light. And we talk about it in this week's Torah portion. But the rabbis believed that it wasn't just something that was external. It's not meant just for us to be able to see. When we talk about this eternal light, we're talking about something very different. We're talking about something that lives inside of our souls. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more as the night goes on, because we all have a little bit of light we need to shine that comes from within. So now I'm going to turn to page 636. I'm going to join Joel in the singing of Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Mesochavtecha El Retzonecha Yarutz Avdecha El Retzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Ayah Ishtachave El mul hadarecha Yerav lo yedidutecha Minofet suf vechol ta'am Adur na'eh Yalai rai 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 Ziv ha'olam Yai rai 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 Nafshi cholat ahavatecha Ana el na'refanala Beharola Noam zivecha Az titchazek Vetitrapek Vehaitala Simchat olam Yalla lai rai 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 Yalla lai rai 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 Yalla lai rai 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 Yalla lai rai 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 Yalla rai 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 Yalla rai 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 Yalla lai rai 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 Yalla rai 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 Yada rai 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 Yada rai 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 Yada rai 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 Yada rai 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 rai.
We turn to page 138 for Lachado D. So I'm going to ask the kids, how many of you use Adobe products? You know, like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Premiere? I see a lot of adults do. I'm amazed the kids don't use them. You will one day. So I went to the Adobe website because I wanted to learn about light. Specifically wanted to learn about golden hour. How many people here have heard of golden hour before? Great, we had a couple. In film school, this was pushed upon us, this idea of golden hour, the hour right around sunrise, the hour right around sunset. When the sun is very low on the horizon, it creates beautiful lighting. And if you watch a movie, they'll wait all day. If you're working on a movie set, they wait all day for the lighting to be just right to get that image in that they want. And so Adobe talks about how the golden hour or magic hour provide the perfect light to capture stunning photos. And the photographers use this tool really on a very regular basis. But I was thinking it's not just photographers who use this tool. It's each one of us. If you want to be spiritual, if you want to be romantic, we want that correct lighting. We want to see that sunrise or that sunset. And I'm sure many of us have memories, regardless of our age, we have memories of that moment when the sun was just perfect. This leads into L'chad Odi on page 138 because we're taught that the mystics of Tzfat would go out every Friday afternoon as the sun was setting. When that sun was that beautiful blue hue that you would see in the late evening, when the shadows would be long. So we went out in golden hour, and as we're talking about light tonight, we waited for that perfect moment of transition to welcome in the Shabbat bride. So while we're going to rise on the last verse of L'chad Odi and face a door and a concrete wall, I want everyone to take a moment as they stand facing that direction to think of the most gorgeous sunset you've ever seen or the best light you've ever seen by the beach. Take into your heart that light that can be present at just the right moment that can create memories forever, because that's what we're supposed to do when we see the Sabbath bride. Page 138, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, rising on verse 9.
L'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. l'chad Odi, l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם הוא תפארת ולתהילה. l'chad Odi, l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. l'chad Odi, l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. l'chad Odi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי Iva ore, kumi ore, uri, uri, shadeveri, kevod Adonai alaik nikla. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likra kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likra kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam besimcha uvetzohala, toch emune am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, lecha dodi likra kala, pene Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likra kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. We turn to page 142 for Shalom Aleichem. And Shalom Aleichem talks about how the angels come and bless us each Shabbat. They go from home to home. And most traditions see them as two angels flying into your home. But often I see three angels, and I relate them to three different ideas. So for this Shabbat, I was thinking about what does it mean to have three angels? And who would be our three different? Well, how would they be differentiated? And I thought about having our youth here and having those who are middle-aged and those who are a bit older. And I began to think about all the different kinds of angels we can have, and how a young angel brings exuberance to our Shabbat, and how a middle-aged angel brings a sense of maturity, and how a senior-age angel brings wisdom and calm. So tonight, let's imagine all three angels coming to share their blessings. A blessing of exuberance, a blessing of maturity, a blessing of wisdom and calm as we enter our Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Leshalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni Leshalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem Leshalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
It's now time for our candle lighting. If you are in 6th through 8th grade and or their advisor, come on forward to help us light our candles. And then we're going to have you remain up here for a couple prayers. So come on up, 6th through 8th grade, come on forward. Stand right next to me, behind me, around me. come on forward. Who's going to be brave enough to take the matches? Who should I be scared about taking the matches? You got it? Thank you. So we keep talking about light, and one of the things we do every Shabbat is light candles. As we light these candles, we welcome in Shabbat. So please light them for us.
Uh-oh.
Okay, next victim. And if any of you guys come close, oh God, you're all off the edge. Come over here. Go dead center. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going that way. Keep going. Keep going. Come, Laney, go that way. Go that way. Go that way, guys. Keep going. No one's on Joel's side. He feels unloved. Okay? There we go.
I showered today, guys.
Perfect. You guys are going to be up here for a few minutes anyway, so get comfortable. Okay, Shane, are we going to be here for Mincha? I mean, for Shachrit, excuse me. Here we go. Come closer, guys. We now reach out towards the candles. Everybody reach with me. We pull in once for Shabbat love, once for Shabbat snacks, and once for a great Shabbat evening program.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu להדליק נר V'tzivanu להדליק נר V'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
I'm going to ask all of you to face the ark. I'm going to ask everyone to rise for the Baruch. Our call to worship, I believe it's page 146, though I'm not looking at my outline. Here we go.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
We all remain standing. Our teens will turn around, and our preteens and face everyone. We take one hand and we reach to the sky. That's our Shema hand. I'm going to shake out those fingers. Get them nice and loose because those are our Shema fingers. And then we're going to make our little swimming cup. And we're going to grab some holiness because holiness is all around us. Let's grab a little bit of holiness from here, maybe from over here. And then we plant our feet firmly. We cover our eyes with this holiness. And we take a big, deep breath in and out. In and out. In and out. And now Joel leads us in the singing of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may all be seated. I'm going to ask our teens and preteens to come stand with their toes on the yellow line to help us lead the Vahafta. If you'd like a book talking to the teens and preteens, grab one from the front row and then hop back up on the stage. They're going to lead us in the Vahafta tonight. Go all the way up. Get your toes on the yellow line. All right, great. And the Vahafta can be found on, who wants to give me a page number? Vahafta 154. Here we go.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We're going to continue with the Mi Chamocha, which can be found on page 158. However, we're going to do the Saturday version because that's what we do in religious school and that's what the students have been learning for their B'nai Mitzvah. So the second verse will be different if you're looking at page 158, the students will be singing a different verse, the Shira Chadasha verse. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nodar ba'kodesh Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nodar ba'kodesh Nora tehilot ose fele Nora tehilot ose fele Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed Shira chadasha shivhu geulim לשמחה על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד 1, 2, 3, 4 מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
So how many of you knew that you were going to be called up tonight? Any of you? One? Okay, two. Is that it? So I want to say Yasher Koach to all the kids because they did not necessarily know they were coming forward. So a big Yasher Koach. Repeat after me, Yasher. Koach. Koach. Great job, guys. You can go hang out with Cameron. No, he's not in here. Go to the first and second row over here and return to your seats. You were amazing, amazing tonight. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru. Vishamru is that song that reminds us that we have to both observe and protect Shabbat. By observing it, we're protecting it. By protecting it, we observe it. It's a bit of a circular idea, but they both must happen for us to truly be part of the Shabbat experience. So Vishamru, page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
According to our Torah, on that first day of creation, God said these words, "Let there be light." The mic is off. The battery just. Oh, there, it went back on. Okay, there it works. So on the first day of creation, God said, "Let there be light." So what did God make on the first day of creation? Who said light? Light, correct. If you said light, because God said, "Let there be light," you'd be right. God created light. But does God have a good memory is my next question. It's a tough question. Who wants to say yes, God has a good memory? Great. Who wants to say no? Okay, we got more yeses than nos, but a lot of people did not vote. So let's review. First day, God creates light. Second day, God separates the sky and the heavens. The third day, God does dry land and vegetation. And on the fourth day, God creates sun, stars, and moon so that we can see. Didn't God create light on the first day? Yes. So what does God create on the fourth day? Dark. Well, I'm sorry, what, Vicki? Darkness. No, God creates more light, sun, moon, and stars. Does it seem like God was forgetful? First day, God creates light. Fourth day, God creates light. And so everyone always argues about why did God create light twice? And for those who are lucky enough to have the bar mitzvah portion be the very first one of our Torah, it's a great conversation. The mystics, those people who are trying to get as close to God as they can to really become part of God, they believe that that first light that we see is actually the light of God. So have you ever heard anyone say, and I think I've used this example in the past, that a bride glowed. So on her wedding day, the bride glowed. And you've heard that phrase before, I'm sure. And the idea is that there's some sort of exuberance. If you had days where you've glowed, where you've just felt so good, and that glowing you've had has gone out into the world, well, that's the light of the first day of creation. It's the light of holiness and goodness. It's that light that we exude without even realizing we're exuding it. And that's the first thing that had to be created, this holy light, this light that we all get to have inside of us and then we get to share with others. Then on the fourth day, what happens? Oh, wait a minute, we need to actually be able to see. We need the sun that can grow plants. We need the sun that can tell us when it's day and when it's night. We need the stars and the heavens and the moon to give us a little bit more light in the darkness. So when God created light on the first day and the fourth day, God wasn't being forgetful. God was creating two very different kinds of things. God was creating an internal light that we can share through our actions and through our deeds, through our temperament. And then God on that fourth day was creating that physical light. So as we search for light, as we want to share our light, it's important to do it with others who are ill. So this leads me to the Shabbat prayer. Because we all know that if we go and we help someone who is ill, we are shining part of our light on them and giving it to them, helping them. So tonight on our Shabbat list, on our list of those who are ill, Sharon Friedman, Erwin Ames, Linda Sage, Jerry Lauterstein, Joan and David Weitzner, Michael Reiter, Fred Strauss, Kendra Reams, Jack Cunningham, Catherine R. Sleeby, Jeffrey Albaum, Pam Branner, Stephen Howard, Mark Jeff, Pearl Taylor, Sharon Fisher, Nancy Velez, Norman Fox, Mimi Fazell, Lauren Kleinrock, Jim Harrison, Megan McMiller, Rivka Ross, Dory Glazer, Susie Sukowiecki, Georgia Levenberg, Danielle Cohen, Randy and Brian Rubin, Larry Rinaldi, Consuelo Pisantes, and Ernesto Tan. We also think of those in Israel who've suffered through this war, those affected by acts of anti-Semitism and bigotry, those healing from all too frequent gun violence, those affected by terrorist attacks, and all those who are caregivers. If you have the name of someone you want to add to our list, please share it with me now. Thank you. Mishaberach Avatenu V'Yimatenu. May the God of our ancestors grant refuah shlema, complete and full healing, to all those named tonight and to all those we hold in our hearts. And together we say the singing of Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor Abracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us
The Amidah is found on page 164. If you're able to rise, I ask you to stand. The Amidah, page 164. Let us remember to pray as if everything depended on God and to act as if everything depended on us.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד. מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently through page 180. When you're done with your silent prayer, you may be seated.
The words to Ozi Vezimrat Yah can be found on page 647. These words come from the book of Exodus. Adonai is my strength and might. God will be my salvation. Ozi Vezimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua 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 Ozi Vezimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua. Try it with me. Ozi Vezimrat Yah Vezimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua Ozi Vezimrat Yah Vayehi lishua Ozi Vezimrat Yah Vayehi lishua.
There are times in everyone's lives where we find ourselves in a place where we think there's no light, no hope, and no promise. And we become so downtrodden that we forget that we once knew light, that it was part of our lives, and that we can bring it back to life if only we have the energy, if only we're willing to go search out that light. But sometimes it's difficult to do. We're so deep in our own darkness that the thought of finding the light that once cheered our lives, that once connected us, seems like an impossibility. And often people will turn to us and say, oh, just open your eyes and you'll see the light. But so often it's almost impossible for us to open up our own eyes. And at that point, we need someone whose eyes are already open to help us move along in this world. We need community. We need friends. We need spouses. We need people who can help us so we can once again return to a place of light. In our Torah, we talk about light quite often. We saw it on the first day and on the fourth day. We see it in our Ner Tamid, our everlasting light. But there's one other lesson. Our Torah, and we have 5 of them in our ark, they say that they are filled with light. And they're filled with hope, and they're filled with love, and they're filled with the impetus for us to begin to do the right actions in the world. So Torah equal light, equal hope, equal love, equal action. They are all equivalent according to our tradition. And you'll see that connection if your eyes are open, or if you can help others see if your eyes are already open who cannot open their own. And like many traditions, Judaism has a bunch of once upon a time stories. You know, once upon a time. And there's a once upon a time story that relates to Torah and light. A story that comes from our Zohar. The Zohar is the great Jewish mystical text. The Zohar finds meaning upon subtle meaning upon subtle meaning. And so it tells a story. In the midst of all of its dense writings, it decides to start off by saying, once upon a time. So once upon a time, there was a princess who made her home in the temple in Jerusalem. And she was made entirely of light. A princess made entirely of light. And most of the time, the princess was invisible. You didn't really notice her. But people could feel her presence. Sort of like that presence we talked about, the light of God on that first day of creation. People could feel her. And once in a while, they saw her in their dreams or in the actions of people when they needed help. And they knew that as long as the princess was with them, they would be safe. But then the temple was destroyed, and Jews were scattered everywhere. What happened? Where did the princess go? Well, obviously, she went with the Jewish people into exile. She was always with her people, but the people could not find her because she was hidden. They didn't realize that she'd gone with them. So each person by person, set out on a quest to find the princess. Without her, the world was dark, and they thought, where is the princess of light who is so well hidden, yet at the same time is always with us? And the story goes on to say, where did the princess hide herself? In the words of Torah. And as the people read Torah, as they found that it was the center of their Jewish existence, whether they lived in shtetls or whether they lived in New York City 10 years ago. It doesn't matter where they lived, if they had a Torah and Jews gathered together, they found this princess of light. Because they found in the words of Torah light and wisdom, and their eyes were filled with splendor. And so the people found out where the princess was hidden, and they became determined to set her free. Because they knew on the day that the princess of light, the light of Torah, was freed, the whole world would celebrate. This story reminds us that the Torah is an eternal light, a light given to the Jewish people. And it's our responsibility to honor the words of the Torah, to study the words of Torah, and to act upon the words of the Torah. It's a guiding light. So when you find yourself in a dark place in your life, you turn to the Torah for assistance. And you'll find words of wisdom, but you also find community. You also find a synagogue. You'll also find ways to reach out to others and help others. Because the Torah is the center of our community, but it branches off in so many different ways and is expressed in so many different ways. So if you're lacking in light, you come to the temple. Come and study our Torah. Come and be part of our groups. Come spend all night eating gummy bears. Whatever works for you. But let's also remember that Torah is action. Everything we learn, all the light we gain, we must take it inside of us and turn it into action and share that light with others. Torah is the light of study and the light of action, the light of hope, the light of community, the light of being together. So my blessing for each and every one of you tonight, may the light of Torah fill your lives each and every day, but especially this Shabbat. And together we say, it's my honor to ask our board member of education, I believe she's a VP, correct? That's right, VP of Education, Shira Sherb. Big round of applause. Why don't you stand in front of that?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So, first mistake of the night, I left the announcements at the bottom of my stack. Give me one sec. There we go. Big thank you to Rabbi John and Dr. Joel Stein for this lovely, beautiful service and reminding us all to keep the light. Thank you. Thank you both. And thank you to our sound and camera man, James. We appreciate you. And everybody in Zoom land, we appreciate you. Next on our agenda, bless you. I want to highlight some of the upcoming events in case you didn't know about it or you didn't remember. Next Saturday, March 2nd, is the Faux Mitzvah. So if I have any 5th and 6th graders in the room, we have a flyer for you to sign up. Please come. It's really fun, and it's a great opportunity for the parents as well as the children to really get an understanding of what to expect and lots of tips. It's a great, great event. My daughter and I will be there. She's a 6th grader. And the gala is coming up. Denim and Diamonds is the theme. We will be honoring the Moulins and the Rabneys. It's coming up on March 9th, so it's right around the corner. It's going to be so much fun. It's such a beautiful evening. There's silent auction, live auction. There's really cool items. You want them, I promise. The raffle will be really fun. Lots of food and drinks, many treats. And best of all the friends you'll make and the friends you'll remember and hang out with and all the wonderful company that you'll be with. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please hop onto the website, join us. It's going to be wonderful, and there are still some limited tickets available. Right after the gala on March 18th is our golf tournament, so please sign up for that. If you like to golf, it's at the Spanish Hills Club. If you don't like to golf, there's still ways to participate, and if you have questions about it, the beautiful, amazing Melissa Schenken-Saunders is here, and she can tell you all about it at the ONEG, so talk to Melissa. You can also look on the website for more details about all of these events and all of the other upcoming events. It's www.koltikva.org. It's also in all the weekly emails. And while I'm at it, let me just remind you guys that Purim is coming up. We have such a fun Purim community event planned. That's on March 22nd. See you all there. Don't miss it. If you're new to Kol Tikva this evening, do me a favor and grab a blue cup at the ONEG just so I'll know that you're new and I can come up and introduce myself and say hi and give you a big welcome. We're really happy that you're here and want to get to know you. So thanks, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. And before I go, shout out to the amazing Lorene Waterman. She's in the room. Lorene, we love you.
We turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. William Shakespeare wrote in the play Romeo and Juliet, "Come, gentle knight, come, loving, black-browed knight, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out into little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun." Tonight, we remember so many little stars, so many who have shed light unto our lives. On our recently departed list, Congregant Sarah Knopf, who has not yet been laid to rest, but her funeral will be in the upcoming week, which we will share with you when we have more information. And she's remembered by the Brown, Knopf, and Guzet families. We also remember Leah Singer-Krasnoff, remembered by Sam Wildman. Janice Rothschild Blumberg, remembered by the Levinson and Rothschild families. Greg Lauer, remembered by the Rapport and Ryder families. Jacob Alone, remembered by the Alone family. Sherry Dolnick Buchel, remembered by the Dolnick and Nyberg families. Tom Stanley, remembered by Stephanie Elkins. Edward Mintz, remembered by the Rabney and Basowitz families. Tirza Wohl, remembered by the Vidal family. Andrea Jacobs, remembered by the Levinson, Jacobs, and Dooley families. And we also hold in our prayers those taken by gun violence, those that have passed through the floods, fires, and other natural and unnatural disasters, the hostages we have lost along with those killed in the current Mideast conflict, and those that have no one but us to say Kaddish for them. We also remember the following individuals who died during this season in years past. Mose Besbik, Lubov Chernyakhovsky, Mo Chayat, Lila Friedland, Sylvia Chayat, Ephraim Getzel, Bertha Glazer, Herbert Karnofsky, Alan Levitt, Charlotte Miner, Louis L. Mitchell, Manny Ramanfard, Max Riskin, Eugene Rubin, Vivian Stad, Elmer Suarez, Penny Wildman, and Ann Zimring. If you have an additional name for our Kaddish or Yortzeit list, please share it with me now. If you're in the first 7 days of morning Shiva, I ask you to please rise. If you're in the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, I ask you to rise. If you're in the first year of mourning, I ask you to please rise. If you're observing a Yortzeit, please rise. These are the mourners in our midst. We rise to show them our love and our support. We are on page 598. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach chirutei v'yamlech malchutei, v'chayachon v'yimechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'galai v'zman kari v'imru. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, Damiran be'alma v'imru. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes peace on high grant peace to all who mourn, to all Israel, and to all humankind. And together we say, please put your books down. If you know the people next to you, put your arms around them. If you do not know them, introduce yourself and say, may I put my arm around you before you do it. Consent is always key. Come forward.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imeru amen.
All 6th through 8th graders and their advisors, come back up here. 6th through 8th graders, come join us for the Kiddush. Everyone else, stay in your seats for now. Come behind. One of you gets the joy of holding this cup of grape juice. I'm just going to wait. It's so delicious, I don't know. Come close, guys, and don't stand all the way over there. You can hold it. There we go. Come close. We're doing a short Kiddush tonight. Come on, guys. Come close. We're lopsided again. I'm sorry, Joel. Nobody likes you. Okay. If you like Joel, go that way. There we go.
All right, I got bronze here.
Okay, great. We got a little bit. Here we go. Let's point. We don't have to point at anything. Let's do the Kiddush. Short Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'kafim.
L'chaim. Take a little sip. It's grape juice. All right, I want all of you guys to hold this challah. Can everyone hold it or touch someone's shoulder who's holding it? Let's get it y'all connected. Is everyone connected? Touch someone's shoulder. You can do it. Thanks. Great. I'll point at the challah and go yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum.
And now the hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Give them
Shabbat
give somebody a kiss, a
shalom.
hug, whatever, and then come get some challah. I have a strange feeling there'll be none left, though, by the time the kids get to it. You better move fast if you want challah.
Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.